Hi guys, my name. Hi guys, welcome to the Life Project with Efiansa. Here I film about adulting as a young Ghanaian woman. I'll be talking a lot about being a wife, being a mother, and being a new entrepreneur. If this sounds like anything that you are interested in, please stay tuned. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so lessons I've learned since I became a new entrepreneur. Just to give you a quick background, I resigned from my corporate job in June of this year, 2021, and we are currently in the first week of November, 3rd November actually. And so I'll just be giving you what I have learned since June. So it's quite brief, but I think it's still relevant. So 1, you will make mistakes and you will lose money. I know it sounds like a negative way to start, but it's honestly the truth. I think here I'm going to be very transparent with you. I will tell you the truth as it is. You will make mistakes because I always say that no one can see the big picture like you can. I think that as an entrepreneur, when you are setting out to start a business, if you are not doing it just for the money and you're doing it because it's something you are passionate about, you most likely have a big picture that you can see. And because you have this big picture, everything that you do as an entrepreneur is towards that big picture. And because you have that big picture in mind, there are times where you make certain little mistakes. You are not an expert in every single aspect of your business. Everything that you need for your business to come together, you are not an expert at every part of it. An example would be, you probably are not an expert at marketing if that's not what your business is. You are going to need a marketing aspect, a legal aspect, a finance aspect, just so many different things, and you are not an expert at all of it, so somewhere you might make a mistake, and that's okay because it's a learning process. As you are going, as you are making mistakes, you are learning, you are improving it, and by the time you get to that final goal, you realize how much you've learned, how much you've grown as a person, and you also realize how much you have improved your plan. By the time you get to that big picture, honestly, it will even be bigger than you had pictured it from the beginning. So that's the first one. Losing money. Obviously, if you're losing time, if you're making mistakes, you will lose some money. Now the next point is that you need money to make money. Yes, you need money to make money. So you know how they say the rich keep getting richer? Yeah, it's true. I think I learned that as I became an entrepreneur. What I realized was that honestly, to make your life easier, to get the level of quality that you are looking for, and just to be able to put everything together, the honest truth is that you're going to have to spend more money. Now, don't worry if you don't have a lot of money saved up for this. I'll talk about how I saved up for my entrepreneurship journey in another video. But honestly, even if you've saved up, one thing I will tell you is that there are people who are willing to help, and you know more people than you think you do. You have friends, you have family. Even if you don't, contact people who have advertised their business and be transparent with them. Let them know that this is a startup, this is my new business, this is my baby, and this is what I'm trying to do. This is the picture that I have, and this is what I need help with. Is there any way you can help me? They'll tell you what their standard rates are. If it's too high, if you can't afford it, you can talk to them. Just let them know that this is how much you have. If they can't give you a whole package, what can we work out? Is there a way you can give me some sort of a plan? There are people who will say no to you. That's okay. Okay, that's very, very okay. But there are also people out there who are willing to help. So please, don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask people for help. There are things that you obviously have to learn on your own, which is fine. You'll be improving as a person, you'll be learning as a person, and you'll be growing when you learn some of these things on your own, but you can't learn it all. So the ones that you can't do on your own, please invest in it. Now, if you are not willing to invest in your own business, at the end, when you finish setting up or launching your business, why should someone else spend a penny on your business so you can make profits? Look at it from that point of view. If you have some money to spend on your business, just spend it. Invest, okay? Do not be too hard on yourself. Guys, don't be too hard. It's not that it's not that deep. I'll talk about this in another video too, because I know when I was resigning from my job and I was putting my things together, I was like, okay, so what's my backup plan? Last I'll look for another job. Last. Okay, so yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, in the sense that don't be looking at things from a corporate point of view. You are just starting. Everything may not be like, obviously you're not going to wake up in the morning and wear a suit and go and sit behind your desk. And there are certain things that you have to just be flexible. Give yourself some breathing space. There are days that you will work super hard. You wake up super early in the morning, work through to the end of the day. There are some days that you wake up and you just don't feel like it, or you wake up and the ideas are not the way they were the day before when you were working really hard. If you need a break, take a break. For me, when I resigned, before I actually went full on into my business, I gave myself some time off. I was working out, I was eating, I was just resting, watching movies, but I just gave myself a bit of a break. So when I started, I knew that, hey, we are going full force. We are Tarzaning this thing, and it was fine. It was good for me. As and when in between I feel like I need a break, if it's for a day, if it's just for a couple of hours in a day, I give myself that break. So don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, you will need the space sometimes. Okay, so give yourself that as and when you need it. So number 4 is plan ahead, but don't over plan. Okay, because it's a new business and you want everything to be perfect, you have the tendency to have a very strict and rigid plan. Like, I'm waking up at this time, I'm doing this at this time, I'm doing that at that time, I'm doing that at that time. And even the tasks that you want to do, you may have them all down and want to implement them in a certain way. But what you realize is that if you are a little bit flexible, you will end up seeing or exploring other opportunities that you hadn't thought about, which will actually add value to your business. So yes, you can plan. I had a plan. I'm a project manager, so obviously I had a plan. I've had a plan for years. But as I was going, I was like, okay, this is the reality of the business. This is the reality of the plan. This is the reality of entrepreneurship. Things have even changed from when I put my plan together a couple of years ago. We had COVID and things have just changed. Just everything has changed, So obviously I had to make adjustments to the plan. Be open to that. Be flexible. Take ideas from people. Learn. Watch YouTube videos. See what other people are doing, and just kind of improve your plan as you go. So don't over plan it to the point where you don't want to make changes. That's the other tip that I have. Okay, so another thing is that you need inspiration and you need a support system. People are inspired in different ways. So obviously you probably know how or what inspires you or what motivates you. For me, it was knowing why I was doing this in the first place. If you are anything like that, you might want to make a list. Why are you an entrepreneur? Why is it that you want to run this business? Is it something you are doing short term? Is it something you are doing long term? Is it something that's going to be generational? Do you want to be able to pass it on? Someone asked me that question recently because we're talking about investors in the business, and I was talking to her about how my business was, and she was like, do you know this thing is huge? Like, you might actually have investors who are interested in buying the business. And she pointed out that, is this something you want to pass on to your children, or is this something that you don't mind selling one day? And I hadn't really thought about it from that point of view. So you might want to ask yourself that as well. Some of these things might inspire you. And for me, another reason I became an entrepreneur, I'll talk about that in another video, but another reason for me was I really wanted to be present as a wife and present as a mom. I know things have changed in the world. Some people believe in this, some don't. But for me, it was something I had always wanted. I saw my mom do that. My grandmother was present. My mother was present as a wife, as a mom, as an entrepreneur. And it was something I looked up to and looked forward to achieving myself one day. So I have a list of things that inspire me. So I'm able to look back and see why I'm doing this, and that kind of keeps me going. Now, support system, I do talk about support system a lot because the world has told us that we are alone. But honestly, you are not alone. There is one person, at least one, who cares about you deeply. There's somebody out there that's going to care about your business, that is going to supports you. You know, it doesn't even have to be like a loved one. It could even be just any person, any friend of yours that you talk to about your business and the person appreciates where the business is going. It may be someone in a similar industry that sees your vision and it's like, this is going to add value in this industry. You know, for me, I'm in the construction industry, and you'll be surprised, like one of my first clients when I became an entrepreneur was this lady. I've worked with her before, but when I explained what my business was, she was just like, wow, this makes sense. This is going to become a household name. Like, she provides a certain support that even beats my mind. I don't know her from anywhere. Like, she doesn't have to do this, but she supports me. You know, she's there. If I want to talk to her about some of these things, she's there. You know, I have family who supports me. I have a husband who supports me 100%. My mom, my sister. You know, I have friends who support me. There are people who post my Instagram posts sometimes, like they post them on their stories, they tell other people. They don't have to do that, but they support, you know. So have a support system. Be open to having a support system. Everything doesn't have to be a secret. So my last point is balance work with something you love. Balance work with something fun. Being an entrepreneur, honest truth, it can be frustrating, it can depress you, it can be discouraging. Okay, so days that happens, what I realize is that for me, because I balance it with things that I love, I don't always feel stressed, I don't always feel frustrated, or anytime that's setting in, I always have these other things that I love. You know, I like working out, so working out helps me. Sometimes I take breaks. I have a particular show I watch every day during the week at 8 p.m. And even that, just looking forward to watching this show sometimes in the evening keeps me going. You know, so just have something fun that you do. It could be whatever. I don't know what you love. It could be anything, honestly. It could be reading a book, it could be watching a show, it could be working out. You know, you can balance it out with your work, and you realize that you start to enjoy your life. I mean, if you think about it, the reason you are probably doing some of these things is to be able to give yourself a certain quality of life. So don't be too uptight and enjoy life. Honestly, it's not that deep. Okay, so that's it for me today. I hope you learned something. I am learning a lot on this journey, and I plan to share them with you. I could wait and become a successful entrepreneur and then come and tell you how I did it, but no, that's not how I want to do it. I honestly wish that a lot of the people I looked up to documented how they got there. You know, it would have been great to see that. There are lots of people doing that on YouTube these days, so that's also good. So I hope this video will encourage somebody. If you are an entrepreneur, if you've been doing this for a while, or if you're also new like me, or if you're thinking about it, put it down in the comments. Let me know what's going through your mind, where you are, what stage you are, and if this video helped you at all. Thank you, love you, leave you. Like, comment, subscribe, please. Mwah.